5 is a significant age because your little one is finally off to big school. How exciting. So this means it's time to learn, play and discover all week, and they'll be telling you all about it. But sometimes delays in speech can affect their school life. So tell me, Mel, speech-wise, what can most 5-year-olds do?
So the other videos have covered a lot of that developmental stuff already.
So it goes up to, they pretty much should be able to do what? Or up till 4-year-old, what they can do?
So the 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds step up just that little bit more in terms of the complexity of the sentences that they're using more of those conjunctions, those joining words like because, when, long sentence like when we go to the park, I want to go on the slide and then I want to go on the slippery dip and then after that I will go on the
monkey bars.
Really long ideas, using those joining words to connect those ideas together. They start to be really good storytellers and they can sequence those ideas really nicely. So first we did this, then we did that, then we did that, and then last we did that. And that obviously directly relates to their ability to write stories when they hit school. Speech-wise, they should be able to be understood pretty much all the time. So, and that's by a stranger. Yep, there's going to be a few little errors there sometimes still. So things like things might not have that TH sound on the front and it might sound more like things. Little errors with things like L's or R's are still pretty normal at this stage.
Yep.
But if people are telling you that they're having trouble understanding them, or again you feel like you're having to be their interpreter, then that's definitely something worth investigating. But yeah, so they really should sound like little adults by the time they're 5. Certainly
bossy little adults.
You might still get a few little grammatical errors, so things like foots instead of feet, or goed instead of went to the park. Some of those kind of grammatical markers might still be an error, but generally speaking, there should hardly be any difference from there talking to an adult's talking. The difference from there on up is really about vocab and about ideas.
How much they read the dictionary.
Yeah. But that they should sound like an adult in terms of all those little bits and pieces should give their sentences should be all in there.
Love it. So how can a delay in speech affect day-to-day school life?
Yeah, so look, probably the biggest issue with kids with speech and language delay is that link to literacy. So kids with speech delay, something like 2 or 3 times more likely to have reading issues when they hit school. And often the cause of that is this underlying skill which is called phonemic awareness. And basically that's about that a child can identify that a word is made up of little sounds. So rather than the word being the smallest unit of meaning, we can actually break them up into further little parts. So that bus is bus. Kids with speech delay or kids with phonological awareness difficulties really find that difficult. And if you think about how kids learn to read, if they can't go k-at, cat and pull those sounds together, then that makes it really difficult for learning to read. So that's probably the biggest impact. If there's issues with understanding oral language as well, then obviously that's going to impact their ability to understand what they're reading, to be able to answer questions about what they're reading, to be able to follow directions in the classroom. So there's lots of different impacts that it can have, but probably the biggest one is that, and one that's less obvious, I guess, is that link to literacy, and that history of speech delay and that history of even as a late talker is enough to sort of put them in that risk category of when they hit prep that they're not picking up reading as well as they could be.
It's incredible, isn't it? So with your child now in school, they'll be using their speech more than ever to learn and grow. So if you think that your child may have a speech delay, don't hesitate. Ring the team at Coastal Kids Speech Pathology today to see how they can help you.